Hello, everybody, and once again, welcome to Cinenomics. Well, the weekend is here, and here I am with the weekend edition. I'll continue today with my meditation series. Last time I actually introduced creative visualization or the visualization meditation to you. I'll further elaborate on that today. So before I go into the deeper techniques of experiencing that, let me a little bit spend some time talking about when it will work, when it will not, and what you should do, or what should you visualize to manifest. So before I get into that, let me a little bit talk about the magic of believing. The most important thing is that you should have a belief in it. You should believe what you want to achieve. If there is no connection between your current state, your desire, your belief, your conviction, and your creative visualization, your visualization meditation, of course, it will not work. Isn't it a no-brainer? So, belief is really important. You should believe in yourself. You should believe that you can achieve it, be it in any field. For an example, the last time I gave an example of running. If somebody wants to run, they should believe that they want to continue to run, they can run, they have a desire to be a runner. Similarly, if somebody wants to make more money, say from their job, high-paying job, they should believe that they are capable of doing that, and one day they'll do it. There has to be solid conviction. If somebody wants to make money from stock market, they should be in the stock market, or they should be willing to go to the stock market, right? I know many people who talk about stock market, they talk about shares, securities, equities, but they're quite fearful. They don't invest. They think it's a gamble. They lose money. And if they have a history of losing money because they just bought on somebody's tips, that even further derails them. Similarly, if somebody is having some little bit of challenges, for example, let's say a minor one, like a back pain. Somebody has a back pain and they want to fix it. Then they should believe that, yep, they can be perfectly all right one day. Having said that, if it's some kind of serious illness, one shouldn't rely on that, by the way. They should be looking at taking care of themselves, seeing a doctor, or doing whatever is required. Creative visualization in that case will actually expedite their recovery. It will not fix it. They have to go for medicine, right? Remember that. So, the whole idea is that, number one, you should have the belief, you should have the conviction to achieve that. And at the same time, there has to be some continuity, some connection between what you are trying to achieve, and what you want to achieve. Somebody with an engineering degree starts visualizing that he'll be a doctor one day. It's not possible. They can actually get admission in medicine, but they have to go through that rigorous academic process, right? So anyway, let's not spend too much time on that. The second thing which I really want to highlight and bring your attention is also the purpose behind it. Hey, what's the purpose? Let's take an example. If your back pain is going to be fixed, who are going to be benefited out of it other than you? If two or more people are getting benefited, is much better. And it's very logical actually. If you look at pranayama perspective, the universe will reward you only when they see value for that. Jose Silva, also in one of his books, actually he has talked about it in the Western world. Dr. Silva has written a lot of books on that, mind control, meditation, etc., etc. I will encourage you to have a look at it. He has also talked about that. Somebody has to get benefited, right? And for an example, if suppose I want to have $100 million, what for? Just for myself? To buy a big car, big house, and private jet, blah, blah, blah. Who else is going to get benefited out of that? That is very important as well. And isn't it logical? When our kids come and ask for money, we say, hey, what do you need this for? They have to convince us. Yeah, I need this for books, or for going out with friends, or do buy something stuff, it's whatever. Similarly, when we are asking for something from the universe, we need to be very clear what exactly we are going to do with that. Is it just for myself? Is it a very self-centric approach? Or others are going to be benefited as well? So in my example that I said, suppose I want $100 million, I don't need $100 million to live my life, right? People who are billionaires, for example, Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, and you name it, all the magnificent seven guys, right? They don't need those kind of money. So if we are asking for a large amount, we should have a plan. A plan, number one, to handle it. What I'm going to do with that money? Who's going to get benefited other than me? And what's my plan? So that is very important as well. I like to highlight and give an example here as well, that this can only work in the greater good. Yes, guys, you've already tried. In the greater good. Suppose a bank robber starts visualizing that he's robbing a bank and nobody is able to catch him. Will that come to fruition? Will that manifest? In my personal opinion, of course not. Because who's going to get benefit out of that? It's not even moral. It's not even legal. So whatever he's doing is wrong. So definitely if somebody is trying to do something funny in the space which is not legal, which is not moral, and is criminal, it may not work. Universe will not give you back those things. And that's where when on one hand there is a law of attraction, where you attract things. On the other hand, there is also a law of resonance. The universe does not give you what you want, because you can want anything. It actually only gives you what you deserve, what you are. It actually reflects back on you. So we have to see all of them in a very holistic way. Law of attraction, law of resonance, creative visualization, meditation, etc. So if you combine all of them and blend it, that's what I had told in my introduction when I started this channel, that my approach will be to kind of blend things and see things in perspective in a more holistic way. So my request is, think about that. What exactly you want to achieve? And what's your plan? Once you get it, what's your plan for that? Who are going to get benefited out of it? And then you come to the next step, which I'm going to elaborate on that now. Again, the techniques of that. In the previous video, I did touch base on a little bit of the basic techniques. Relaxation, talked about, relax yourself, and then to kind of visualize, how to visualize, etc. I also talked about affirmations. But here I'll take a pause and I'll kind of categorize them into different segments. So when we talk about achieving something, it can be multiple things, right? It can be success in jobs, success in studies. It can be success in finances. Or it can be some healing. The example I gave was back pain. It can be some other things as well. How you heal yourself. So today I'll go a little bit more on I would call it general level. And in the next video, I'll go deeper into that. How to train your subconscious brain. Because at the end of the day, what are we trying to do by visualizing? We are training our subconscious brain. Yes, guys, you have heard it right. Subconscious brain. We have a conscious brain and a subconscious brain. And some of you who want to learn more about that, you can actually refer to The Magic of Subconscious Brain, right, by Joseph Murphy. I'll also cover that because that's a very important part of the whole meditation series. So subconscious brain is something which subconsciously works on our body. And it's just like a computer. Whatever you say, whatever you think, it actually grabs it. So it's very important. What are you thinking? It's very important. What are you saying? What's your mental model is? How you see things? How you see the whole world? How you see relationship with people, with money, with yourself, externally and internally. It's very important. And in order to achieve what you want to achieve, you need to train your subconscious brain. And I'll come to that later in the subsequent ones. But let's start with the simple techniques actually. And I'll use the same example of running, or if that's boring for many of you, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about a presentation. All of us in the corporate world, we have to present it to somebody. Many of us have fear of public speaking. When you have to address a large crowd, you feel nervous, especially if you have not done that 5 or 10 times. If you're going for the first time, or you're going to the stage, if you're a singer, you're going to the stage and you're going to sing, you'll have what's called stage fear. Let's talk about that. Or I'll also a little bit blend it with others, like a back pain example that I was talking about, or running. So let's look at all these in that segment. So as I mentioned to you last time, the most important and the first thing is basically relaxation. You need to relax, because it's pretty much a proven fact that all these things happen, or you are able to influence your subconscious brain when you are in a certain state of mind. And that is called alpha state, as I mentioned earlier. It's a little bit when you're half asleep. You can hear sound, you can actually hear what people are talking, but you are not completely there. You are early morning or late night, for an example. Early morning is the best time, in my personal opinion. Before you get out of the bed, you can think about it. That's a beautiful time. And that relaxation is important. You focus yourself on your body, starting from your toe to your skull, and individually you see the tension getting released. The muscles are getting released slowly, one by one, one by one, one by one. And guys, you can actually feel it. For an example, if I'm sitting straight here, and once I go in that state, what will happen? The first thing will happen that I'll drop my shoulder like this. My eyes will start closing. The body gets really relaxed. All the muscles get relaxed. The tension go out. So you come to that state. Little bit deeper, which is alpha state, where you are half unconscious, I would call it, or half asleep. And then you start thinking about it. As I mentioned, whatever you want to achieve, in this particular case, for an example, say you want to present. I'll use 2 examples today. One is the presentation. Another one will be back pain. Yeah. So suppose you want to present it and you have a stage fear. So first you imagine yourself, you visualize yourself that you are there and you are a bit nervous, you're worried about it. So you just imagine that there is movie screen going from left to right because it's going to the right brain. That's the logic behind it. Or you imagine there is a big TV screen, whatever works for you. Yeah, a very big TV screen, and you are seeing yourself there. And you're worried, you're nervous. You have to go for a big presentation, and you are prepared, but you're nervous. You're worried about it. And then close your eyes, relax again, take some deep breaths, 3-4 deep breaths, 3 or 5. Normally I say 3 or 5 depending on how easily you feel relaxed. And then again you visualize. See the same picture, movie screen or the same big television screen, and see yourself, and this time it's a different one. You're more confident. You see yourself in that presentation set up in that stage, and then you start seeing yourself in a very vivid manner. You are presenting it. Go by the details. You go slide by slide, and whatever you have prepared, you just go and practice that. You feel it. You sense it. You see people around you. Hear the sound. You actually hear people asking questions to you, and you're answering those. So it has multiple stages. The first stage is basically, as I mentioned, a vivid picture. You should see a very vivid picture that you are already there. You're doing it. You're presenting it. And then you use all your 5 senses. Which are the 5 senses? It's like hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, and touching. So you're hearing it. You're hearing the sound, all those kind of things. You're hearing people are moving here and there. They're asking questions. They're taking notes. All those kind of things. And you're presenting. You're quite confident. You're presenting pretty well. Now, the third stage is you should be happy about it. Try to visualize the details of that. People are asking questions to you. You are answering them in a more satisfactory way. And then you are pretty happy. You're feeling the joy. You're no more the same person who was fearing presentation. You are a confident presenter now. And the last thing I will say, which I was talking about it, the purpose behind it, who is benefiting out of that? Maybe your company, your organization, right? Your colleagues. You are going and presenting with a sales presentation, or it's a research presentation. So with all this presentation, what was the purpose of that presentation? Who are the beneficiary of that? Think about it. These are the 4 basic stages you have to follow. Similarly, I use that for the back pain. First, you imagine that you're having a back pain. You're really having an excruciating pain. You're not able to run or walk or whatever. Close your eyes, take some deep breaths, open it up, and see yourself. And this time is different. You are walking, you're running, and there's no back pain. You're pretty happy. So see the vivid picture. Use all your 5 senses. You're in a park or you're running on the side of the road, whatever makes sense. Marathon runners actually love to run on the side of the road, or they go to the park and run there. So you're running, you see the kids playing, you see the other guys, fellow runners are there with you. So use all your 5 senses. And then see yourself very happy. That you have no back pain, you were running, you're walking, and you're perfectly fine. You're quite happy about it. And that's very important. And last but not the least, benefits, purpose. Who are the other 2 or 3 guys getting benefited out of your back pain getting fixed? Maybe your family. Maybe your kids. Now you are playing with your kids. Earlier you could not. Yeah? You're going for a walk with your spouse. Or doing all the... So others are also getting benefited. They're also happy. Visualize yourself. You're very happy. You're spending all the time, quality time with your family, with your kids. and everybody is pretty happy about it. So this is very simple technique. So I'll repeat that. Number one, in order to make that happen, in order to manifest that, you should have the belief. You should firmly believe in that you can achieve it. You should have the right conviction. Number two, you should have a plan. What are you going to do with that? I mean, back pain is a different example. Of course, everybody wants to be fit. But in terms of the other stuff, like the presentations, you're a great presenter. If you're looking for a great job, you're looking for a lot of money, you're looking for buying a big property, or whatever it is, what's the purpose for that? What do you want to achieve with that? Suppose you get it. The example I was giving, $10 million. If you get $10 million, what are you going to do with that? That plan has to be there. And the third thing, most important thing is that, of course, it's linked with the plan. Who are going to get benefited other than you? And then once you have that, you visualize yourself in that situation, pretty much in the 4 steps that I talked about it. Have a very vivid imagination. Number 2, feel the joy of doing that. Right? Number 3, see who are the guys getting benefited out of that. Feel all the senses. Use all the 5 senses to create the vivid picture. And once all of that has been done, basically, you need to relax, open your eyes slowly, get back to where you were, open your eyes slowly, and you'll feel really, really relaxed. Guys, this is the main technique. I have categorized that. Yeah, I will categorize that into 2 or 3 different segments. This was the first segment. And trust me, this is a well-established technique, well-established fact. It all happens. There is one more technique that actually you can visualize, and it says that once all of that has been done, before you get back to your normalcy, you think that you are next to a big balloon or something, which has all your purposes, all your desires, everything inside, and then you are releasing it. Say it's a hydrogen balloon or helium balloon, whatever, and you're releasing it to the universe, and the balloon is actually flying away. You're not letting it go. You are actually sending into the universe all your plans, all your desires, what you want to achieve, and let the universe work on it and return it back to you. It's pretty much aligned with what I just explained. The law of attraction, you did attract all of those, created a plan, you had a purpose, then you released it to the universe. And then comes the law of resonance. The universe will return you back all that you deserve and what you are. So it's really very important for us to think positive, have belief in ourselves, and other than the outer world, look inside yourself, your higher self. And that's where the spiritual thing comes in. Do you really believe that? Look inside. Feel it. Are you ready for that? If you get it tomorrow, do you have the plan? So all these things are pretty much there. No need to repeat all of them again. I think I have a little bit repeated because the whole meditation and the whole creative visualization is all about repetitions. You have to do that again and again and again. And one day miracle will not happen. You have to continuously do that. In the subsequent videos, actually, I'll cover a little bit more detailed about it. A little bit how you train your subconscious brain. More detailed techniques. Till then, it's a goodbye from me. I hope you're enjoying all these videos. And if you are, don't forget to share and subscribe. Remember, the purpose of this channel is to create awareness so that you can achieve what you want and be happy. With that, it's a goodbye from your friend Pankaj Sinha. Bye-bye.